Hello, fight fans. Seattle Mike MMA with friends here. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Make sure you buy something nice for your mother, cook her a good breakfast. Hit that like button. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. And don't forget to ring that bell so you're notified whenever I go live, like this Wednesday for UFC on ESPN. Anthony Smith versus Glover Teixeira. And then we got another card on Saturday, another card the Saturday after that. UFC is back, and they were back last night in a big way. Great card, huge surprises, including several surprises in the Dominick Cruz versus Henry Cejudo match. The match went similar to how I thought it was going to go, similar to kind of what I was saying all week or the last couple weeks. What I was kind of surprised by afterwards, besides the fact that Henry Cejudo retired, is Dominick Cruz's comments on referee Keith Peterson. So Dominick Cruz was complaining a early stoppage, and I'm not surprised that he had a few words to say because there was only 2 seconds left in the round. It was 4:58 of round 2. He got caught with a big flying knee. He got caught with, I believe, 9 unanswered shots. He had flown back onto his back, was not defending himself, was not blocking or dodging these shots. And when Joe Rogan O'Leary interviewed him later, when Joe Rogan mentioned, you took 9 unanswered shots. Afterwards, he said, sometimes that happens in this sport. Well, I would say, Dominick Cruz, that sometimes in this sport, when you take 9 unanswered shots, the referee's going to jump in and save you. I would have liked to have seen that round maybe go on, or maybe it not be with 2 seconds left. But what Dominick Cruz said afterwards in an interview with Megan O'Leary started to remind me why I used to not care to listen to Dominick Cruz. I love this guy as a commentator. He's very intelligent, he's very articulate, seems very polite and professional. Different animal when he gets inside the cage. When I was competing, I know a lot of people are. You see a guy like Francis Ngannou, he gets out and it's immediate switch, shuts it off, and he's the nicest guy in the world after just about killing someone. Dominick Cruz gets out and says to Megan O'Leary, I wish we could veto these refs. I wonder if there's a way that we could do that. As soon as I seen who it was, I was wishing that it was Herb Dean. Herb Dean's the best in the business. He said when he's seen it with Keith Peterson, he said that they need to drug test these refs. Then he went on to accuse Keith Peterson of smelling like cigarettes and alcohol. He said God knows what he was doing before the match. Does anyone really think that Keith Peterson was drunk while he was refereeing a professional fight? If he actually smelled alcohol on the guy, he should have said something probably before he started it. Obviously that's a pretty egregious offense. Even if they're about to start the fight, you'd be like, hey, whisper something to the commission. Hey, man, this referee, I think he's drunk. He literally smells like alcohol. Can you come over and please check this out? Somebody of his corner could have called somebody. The guy says nothing. You don't hear him say anything in his corner about him smelling like alcohol or being drunk. He says it after he loses, after he gets caught with a flying knee, where he, in his own words, he had his head lower than he should have. Gets caught with a flying knee from Henry Cejudo. 8 unanswered shots or so afterwards. And I really thought he should have taken that more like a man. I know he's not the greatest loser. He hasn't lost a lot, to his credit. He's an emotional guy. I get it. I'd be interested to see his response today. I would hope it would be a little better, a little different. I think, maybe he owes referee Keith Peterson an apology. Or we need to have an investigation. If this guy actually smelled like alcohol and Dominick Cruz believes he was intoxicated during a match, if he really believes that, if he has the same story today, they need to start investigating this guy. Obviously, we can't have a guy that's intoxicated in the cage refereeing matches. I don't believe that is the case. I'm not saying that Dominick Cruz completely made it up. Maybe, maybe he's right. I highly doubt it, especially with all the securities going on. Everybody was getting tested for the bug. Of course, Jacare so far was the only one to test positive. Thankfully, most people being tested 3-4 times, though. I think they would have realized if Keith Peterson was walking around intoxicated. All right, guys, let me know what you think, though. What do you think about Dominick's performance? Anything else you want to talk about from last night or these fights coming up on Wednesday? So awesome to have Wednesday fights coming up. Guys, as always, I love you. I respect you. And I'll see your fine asses later.